Okay, so welcome back, everyone. We had the first session in the morning, and I hope you all learned what exactly quality assurance is, what's testing, what is the types of testing, and how to get started. So, you all asked a lot of questions around that as well, and thank you so much for the overwhelming response. We have already got 56 responses in the course for the first session. So, moving on, up next, we have Sahil Kapoor sir here, who is SJ2 at Amazon, and he has 5+ years of experience in this testing domain, and he'll be giving you more hands-on experience with how to test things out and what exactly should be the things that you should look out for. So without any further delay, over to you, Sahil sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nish. Hey everyone. I think a few of you might be already aware about me who I am if you are on LinkedIn. If you are not, I'll be more than happy to introduce myself. So, I am Sahil and I've been working with Amazon from some time, and I've been working as an SD2 in Amazon. I started my journey in 2019 with Sapient, and now it's been around 6+ years I've been into the automation domain. And yeah, from starting, I've been building the scalable automation frameworks and resolving the complex scenarios for QAs and for the clients as well. So yeah, till now the journey is really cool, enjoying this journey, and maybe I'll be contributing today for your learning as well. A few of the things maybe I could. So yeah, let me start with some of the things how as that work looks like in mostly in Fang. I'll be talking only about the tier one and Fang based companies today mostly, so that you could relate how SDET work is going on, how a day would look like in SDET's life, right? So I'll be talking on behalf of Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and all. So it would be like similar work in most of the uh, top tier organizations. So I would be starting with the very first session in the morning where we start our work. So it's most of the it's like when we have to attend our stand-ups, right? So before stand-up we just need to go through some of the tasks that we did yesterday. If there are any callouts, any blockers that we can recall, we just need to gather that information for our stand up, and then probably you can call out those things in the stand up. You can have the discussions with your manager and senior level of managers if you want to, and just give your status of the task. That's it. And after that you will have to get to your work. So probably the work would revolve around multiple things. So one major thing would be always identifying the problem. What would be a problem today we are facing, and what we need to resolve. So as a bigger part, a project has been assigned to all L5 level engineers in Amazon, right? So I'll be an individual who is handling a single project, a whole project, which will be probably out in January 2026 in Amazon Music Live. You'll be all seeing that as well. Uh, but yeah, so probably the steps that we need to follow on a regular basis is to solve the problem that we are facing yesterday, or maybe if there was some blocker we were facing yesterday that we need to solve today for sure, right? So there are deadlines, there are deliverables. You need to make sure you are delivering that on time, right? And a few of the parts are reviewing the CRs, putting out the comments, having the discussion with the juniors, doing the mentorship part. And in the end of the day, the quality matters, right? So even if you are a SDET, even if you are a QA, or even if you are a dev, the impact of your work directly matters to the clients. So I would say if the quality of your product is better, then everyone, including all the engineering staff, would get the appreciations, right? So yeah, that's how the things looks like, not just into the SDET world, into the QA and the SD world also. It would probably be similar, because SDETs in most of the top tier and FANG companies are doing the similar kind of job that SDs are doing, right? So yeah, that's how it is. So probably I won't be wasting a lot of time, speaking out the things and starting from the start, that how SDETs are working, and probably what tools we are using. I would show you some of the things maybe that would be uh, you know that could be ideal for you guys. So let me share my screen if I can. Mm-mm-mm. Just a second. I think I got lost. Hello, hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, yes, I learned.
Okay, cool. I cannot see any people at
There
this session. So,
there is an icon in right next to your video icon. There you can share the screen using that.
yeah, okay. Uh, just calling out that I cannot see people attending this session. There are people, right? I cannot see that.
Yeah, it's on the right tab.
Okay, I can see zero, but not sure. Cool, not a problem. Mm, just let me know once if you guys would, see my screen. I hope the screen is visible, right?
Yeah, it's visible. We can see.
Cool. So this is again the Commodal website only. So I don't want to go to any other sites and show you the things. So first thing first is I would just like you to go through some of the things that we as SDETs and QAs are doing. One thing is the performance of the site. Let's compute how good Commodal is in terms of performance, right? uh, let's see if we have something internally into the Chrome itself, right? So if we directly go into the Lighthouse, I just opened up the developer menu in Chrome, and I just opened up commutable.com. And now if you see, this is the Lighthouse provided by Google directly, and this is basically generates a Lighthouse report, which is a performance report for your website, right? It will give us the multiple parameters as well. It will generate us the metrics as well. So let's see how it would work, right? We won't change many of the things. We would want the categories to be performance, accessibility, best practices, and SEO also. And uh, just a second, the tabs to make sure the origin. Just a second. I think let's open the communal here. Let's see if the light tool works. Multiple tabs are being controlled by the same service worker. Okay. I think the communal is opened up in other tab as well. This is where I am attending the session. That is why it is saying that please close that one. Let me just open up there itself. Yeah, it is working here. So this is communal. Some page is open where we are actually having this session. So let's do one thing. Let's analyze the page load, and let's see how we'll get the multiple metrics report by this Lighthouse, right? Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
I am not sure how I was getting out from this call. So where I was, if you guys can just recall. I just wanted to understand where I was last. If you guys can just recall this, please.
We started with the lighthouse bit, and when you started analyzing, I guess it killed this tab, and when the analysis was going on, you got off stage. So we can start from there.
Mm-hmm. No worries. I think I was just okay. Good. I'll start from the lighthouse again. Once.
Sure.
Just a second. Mm, I hope the screen is visible again, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
Cool. So I was just explaining some of the parameters and some of the uh, metrics from the lighthouse that we have generated for Commudle probably, and I was just showing this tree map. So I can explain it again. So uh, probably these are all the services that are being hit during the page load of this Commudal site, right? And to ensure all these services are like some of the services are JS and other are maybe images and all also. These are the memory they are taking, and this is the kind of percentage that these services are contributing into the page load time. So just a second. Cool. So yeah, these are the services which are contributing into the page load time. The maximum the page load time this has been consumed by 27%. Some of the services are taking less, like 13%, 8%, and all. I know this is not the ideal use case for all of you that you want to understand, but just wanted to give you the high level view of these things, that this is how we are actually checking the performance of a site from different metrics and different services, how the services are being loaded at the back end, and which all services are contributing to page load time of one of the website. So basically I just wanted to give you a glimpse of lighthouse, that is an inbuilt tool inside the Chrome. You just need to inspect and go to the lighthouse, and you just need to inspect that. Go to the new report again. If you analyze yeah, I think I was out again because of the page reload. Just a second, I'll show you. Hope the screen is visible again. So I was just clicking into this analyze page load. This will, actually at the back end loads the page and analyze everything. So that is why I was going out of the call. So sorry for that. Yeah, I think we can start with the next thing. So the next thing would be probably be very interesting for you guys. So we can go to uh, this lambda.com, and I would show you how actually we can take a look at the console logs and the network logs, and how we can change the throttling and all from for our website, right? I would show you from the very basics. So this is inspect I have opened. So if for this website, let me just open up the network tab, right? If I clear all the calls from network, I'll just refresh the page again, and you would see a lot of calls going on the back end, right? So if you would see, a lot of calls are going through, right? So I have, created the, or clicked on the fetch XHR. This is only would show us the REST calls, not the documents or other things in our network tab. So first thing first is the recording, and this is the screen. Basically, this is for network logs recorder. So once you will refresh the or reloads the page, this would, uh, you know, uh, this way you would see all the calls are going on. This is recording those calls. This way you can clear out all the logs, and you can reload the page again and then see all the calls on the page. This way you can preserve the logs in the network tab, and then actually if you want to test any scenario where you don't want to you don't want the cache to be enabled, and that way your things are not working, you can actually disable the cache and try out the things here. And here in throttling, this is actually the useful things for the SDETs and QAs. Why? Because people would not be always into the highest speeds, right? Speed, what does that mean is highest network speeds, right? So what you can do is you can check on the slowest speeds and fast 4G, slow 4G, and you can set uh, and you can set the custom speed also by giving the 1 MB, 2 MB, or whatever you are comfortable with for the testing purpose. So let's say if you are going into the slow 4G, and then you are reloading this website, this would take a lot of time, right? And you would actually understand the pain points of customers from these scenarios, that once they are in the slow network, if your website is actually behaving fine, you would see this loader also on the chat. You won't see these kind of loaders and all once you are in the no throttling pace. And no throttling pace means you are on the actual wi-fi speed, right? If I reload this, you won't see for many of the seconds that loader, right? You would actually see that loading very fast, and actually see that loading the whole page very fast. Let's analyze one of the service also. So if I go into this service, I would see this is the get request, simple, and this is returning me 200. Okay, uh, that is what it is saying, that this is a green response, passing the API call and actually getting the data whatever is required. If you see the response, you would see the data also that is required to show on the UI, right? So this is one of the call I have opened, and checked the payload as well. And again, if you go into the console for the debugging purpose, so two things are there. So one thing is console, other thing is the network. So mostly people would go into network to check the backend calls only. Console would not mostly show the backend things, right? Only network would show the correct backend calls that are going on, and by clicking on it, you would actually check the status, how the backend things are working, and what are the responses that we are getting from the get calls, post calls, and all, right? And let's suppose if you are seeing some UI errors actually onto this, and your site is crashing or some component is not being loaded, right? So what you can do is just go to console and see, by refreshing this, you would see a lot of things are crashing. So if you see this, uh, this is giving you 423 some of the calls that are not being loaded properly in the code. Other thing is uh, you can set the custom things from here as well. What do you want to see? I want to see informations, warnings, and errors. So I think I'm seeing all these are the warnings, these are the errors I could see, these are the JS errors. Somewhere it could impact our UI also. And then some of the parts of the information as well. This is the part of the information, right? that you are getting, that this is the SDK that is triggered, you user ID is null that is going, and you would actually see a lot of things from the console, and you can actually uh, actually hit the queries and actually hit the JS calls from here itself and see what is the response that your UI is giving you, right? Is there any question till now from the audience? Do you want to ask something? Anyone have any questions till now?
Currently, we do not have any. We are getting the interesting session, so we can pick it up in the end of the session. We can take the
End of the
questions.
session. Okay, great. Let me just continue to some of the other things. Let me just check the other things as well. Just a second. Yeah, so this is the pretty interesting thing now, what I'll be showing to you guys. Probably you guys are not aware of these things currently. So I would like to share my whole screen now. Uh, hope the screen is visible, right? Just give me the confirmation. I'll show you certain things now.
Yes, sir, we can proceed.
Visible, right? So let me show you one of the amazing things that we guys are working on, and the industry is moving on towards the AI, right? I know once you hear the word AI, you would be getting curious to know about the AI things, right? So let me just go through some of the things. So now this is the VS Code where the actual repo is being created. This is my actual work, right? So uh, don't want to open up and show you multiple things into here. So this is just the normal terminal I have opened up, and these are the things that have been shown, the project structure basically. So what we can do from the AI. So this is the AI basically. If we are checking, are we connected? It would answer me, right? Just see this. Let me give just another thing. Yes. So this is our internal AI that we are using as an Amazon, and just wanted to give you the claims how actually not just the internal AI thing, but the other AI tools in the market, just like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and other Perplexity and all, how you can use all of the things like that into your daily code and all. So let's suppose I have created one of the repository in Amazon, and I want my AI to produce, let's suppose, top 5 test cases. Please give me to cover all the scenarios from this repo to test, right? You don't need to think much about the top 5 scenarios. You can just ask these, and this will actually help you. So see this. If you if you if you would focus on the things of the AI, how AI would work. So firstly we need to train some of the AI models and give the proper prompts and context, that what are we talking about, and then it would show you the proper results, how the top 5 test cases would looks like, right? And these test cases actually you can use into your daily work. Not just the test cases, but the other things also you can actually use into your daily work and all. So yeah, this is what I would really wanted you to show, that how AI can change the things, and how AI would be helpful for you guys to just not generate the test cases and all, but actually write the test cases and well, and also write the actual code as well into your repository, not into. I know the external AI tools won't write the test cases into your repository, but you can always take the help from the external AI tools, and ask your questions via the better prompt, and giving the better context, and generate the code and do the better learning from the from your perspective, right? not just from the testing perspective, from the journal perspective. I'm saying that. Yeah, that is what I have in terms of AI. Uh, is there anything you would want me to cover as part of this session? Uh, just let me know. I would be happy to cover that also. Just one last thing I would want to cover is the top skills that is actually required to get into the FANG based companies, or FANG or tier one companies, is the list I would want to share here. So one thing is definitely the strong debugging and root cause skills, where you can actually find the logs, just not from the network tab, from the code as well. Actually you be able to see the stack trace, how the things would work at the back end, at the back layers. So that is actually a required skill. Other thing is the solid coding actually that is required. So not just for SDs or the other professions or the other domains, but actually for the SDETs and QAs also nowadays, solid coding is required, not just for into one language, but multiple language, Java, TypeScript, Python, or any other language if you are comfortable with. That is actually required, right? Other thing is definitely the performance mindset always, because once you deliver your website or mobile applications into the production, the performance matters a lot for the users, right? There should be no hiccups, there should be no lags. That's a skill that is required actually nowadays. Other thing is the system design sense, how the services interact with UI, how actually you better sense the system, how the services are working actually. So that is actually required. At last, I would say the communication, the clear, writing the clear bugs, raising the clear MRs, and communicate your things clearly to the clients. That is actually a required skill. So these are the top level skills that are required to get into companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and all. Yeah, that's what I have for today. Is there something you would want me to cover, or if there are any questions, I would
Yeah,
happy to take that up.
we have some questions in the chat. So, Sanskriti is asking, how do you approach testing user flows like login, sign up at scale when there are millions of users?
Interesting questions. I would want to, approach this question in a different manner. Is there any question that is light-hearted that I can, answer it in seconds, and then I could, take this up?
So, this is like the most common question we were getting pre-event as well. So, what kind of bugs or issues impress interviews at Amazon during QA interviews when explained as real life examples?
Okay, okay. Uh, this question actually, I want to take that up first. So, uh, cool. So, what kind of things that would impress the interviewers, and what kind of bugs and all, what kind of work that you have done that actually impress the interviewers? I am actually the Amazon interviewer right now. So, what are all the things that impresses me and my other colleagues who are into senior level roles as an L6 or L7 roles as well? One thing is the clear mindset and the learning mindset. That matters a lot for me and the other colleagues as well. So how would we judge that you are into a learning mindset, and how we judge you are a clear mindset person is, let's suppose we are giving you a scenario where you would actually have to learn something for it, right? Let's suppose I asked you a question that, if you are comfortable with the automation of wearables are watches and all, right? So there are apps and everything is there into the wearables as well. So if you are automation tester, and if you are comfortable with web testing, are you comfortable writing a framework from scratch into the variables as well, or into the other domains like big screen or TV space as well, right? If you are saying that you haven't worked on these spaces yet, but definitely you would want to learn something into this space, and definitely you would want to explore these things. So these things matters a lot for an interviewer, right? When you are saying that actually you would want to learn about these things and you would want to explore about these things. These matters a lot for us as an interviewers, right? Other thing is when we are giving you the coding problems and the actual problem solving things into the interviews, I personally would not want you to write the clean code and want you to write or solve actually the whole problem. I would actually, want to understand your mindset. How would you, approach that problem? How would you, logically think about those problem? Not just from the problem solving perspective, but to actually, on a holistic perspective, how would you actually, approach that problem so that you can, actually scale and write those test cases, edge test cases, found the problems that user can face into the end of the problem solution. So these are the few things that actually I notice into the interview candidates. Yeah, I think I answer that question. If someone wants something else, I can answer that as well.
Awesome. So now I'll be getting a lot of queries to get a referral now on LinkedIn for sure.
Referral for sure. I run the community on LinkedIn as well. I have around 25K followers as well. So maybe if you want not just a referral into Amazon but in other companies as well, feel free to reach out me on LinkedIn directly. I would be happy to help you into that.
Awesome. So we'll be sharing your LinkedIn in the chat. So we have another question. How much of your work at Amazon is automation versus exploratory? Like, is it true that farm companies don't do manual testing anymore?
That's the question I would really expect from this kind of audience. Okay, so probably tier one and not the tier one, but the FANG companies I want to mention here. There is less than 1% manual testing in these companies, right? So individually, if I talk only about me, I am doing zero manual testing at Amazon because there is a clear segregation between the SDETs and QAs, right? So QAs are there who are doing certain kind of manual testing, but at the end of the day we are creating the solutions for them continuously. We are innovating the things, we are doing the research into the things, how we can solve the problems in terms of what they are doing manual. We how we can write the automation solutions for that also. So in terms of the manual effort, actually we as an SDETs are here in Amazon or in any other FANG companies also, who would actually contribute regularly into the automation kind of solutions, right? How you can build the automation frameworks or automation structures or automation architecture on a regular basis, so that you can provide these to QAs and who can actually write those test cases into those frameworks and actually reduce the manual effort on a regular basis. So if you talk about SDETs and the automation testers in fan based companies, they are doing zero manual testing, literally zero. Yeah.
Understood. I hope Sujal that answers your question. Now next we have Tarushi. She's asking if Lighthouse, PageSpeed Insights are actually used in Amazon or they have some in-house tools for these things as well.
Okay. So actually, these kind of tools, the lighthouse and the Chrome extensions or the the external tools that has been provided by Chrome or other big companies, actually that are not being used at the FANG based companies because uh, those metrics are helpful somehow, but we would actually want to go into the much deeper metrics as well, right? So there are hundreds of other metrics that we are actually impacted by on a daily basis, not just these metrics. So these are the very basics metrics that are given by Lighthouse and the other external tools or the free kind of tools that are given by one of the tool is Gem also. So that is just a plugin you just need to install into Chrome and it would show you the uh, you know performance metrics report or some of the other console logs or the network logs as well. So actually we don't use these kind of tools. We have the internal tools in Amazon or Google do have those internal tools as well. So we are actually using those tools and other metrics apart from the lighthouse that is given by the lighthouse. We are actually impacted by those metrics a lot. So we are actually prioritizing those metrics over lighthouse metrics.
Understood. Next, we have from Eva that since Fang mostly uses automation tools and their own in-house tools for even for like browser or mobile testing.
Mhm.
So, what matters when you are testing for different devices, and is there any way like the generic audience can learn how to use this tool so that they are like a more hireable candidate for Fang companies?
Okay, so the straightforward answer is no, you don't need to learn those tools that is being used by Amazon or Google or Microsoft internally, because these tools are also made up or any of the wrappers over the existing tools in the market, right? So, or maybe some of the tools that are, actually being generated from scratch in Amazon or Google as well, but the base thing remains the same, right? If you are very well aware about how Selenium works, how Playwright actually works, right? So understanding the structure of the framework and understanding the system design, how you can actually design the framework, how you can actually write the framework that scales for millions of users, that matters a lot, not the tooling, right? So I would give you the internal insight as well. In Amazon, or any other fan based company, we are actually not going into any of the tooling part. We won't ask you a single question from Selenium, Playwright, or any of the external tools that are available in the market. If you are very good into scaling up the systems, if you are very good into system designs and all, right, you would definitely learn those tools and all in a single week. That is not a bigger problem for us. The only bigger thing that matters to us is your understanding of the system design, your understanding of the architecture of the services that are working on the backend, right? That matters a lot to us, not the tools.
Understood. Next up, we have a question that is DSA and competitive programming important for testers to learn?
Nowadays, definitely, I would say that I always reiterate on my LinkedIn post. If some of you are following me on LinkedIn, then definitely you would have seen my lot of posts of different kind of questions that companies are putting on in the interviews. So why I'm saying this, this is a very important thing nowadays for testers and QAs and SDETs to learn, because see, a competition is lot in the market, right? So for a single position, thousands of candidates are there. So it's better to learn DSA nowadays, not just for clearing the interviews, but for your logical and reasoning mindset as well, right? When you are doing the coding and solving some of the problems via lead code, via HackerRank, doesn't matter, right? So actually you are opening up your logical mind via that. So it would be very much recommended when you are giving the interviews for tier 2 and tier 3 companies also, do at least 100 plus questions from DSA. And of course, if you are appearing for FANG, this is a mandatory thing. You cannot clear the interview rounds without having the knowledge of DSA and algorithms, right?
Understood. Thank you so much. Now, moving on, we can circle back to the previous question that how to test user flows like login sign up at scale when there are millions of users concurrently.
Yeah, that's the important question. So why I wanted to take at the end, because this is something a kind of a real time scenario only. So uh, actually in Amazon, or in any other e-commerce, bigger e-commerce companies, when you actually need to automate certain kind of things, where you would actually not just want to automate but to see the performance as well, right? When you are approaching the things like this, when you are actually login into one of the page and see actually login is being happen, that is the happy flow. That would always work, and that's the bare minimum that FANG companies would expect their devs to create. And then if we talk about the hundreds of thousands of millions of users, how would we approach the users flows like that? So we would be actually using the scripting kind of a things. So can't name some of the tools that we guys are actually using, but there are the internal tools which can actually inject millions or billions or trillions of users, whatever you want, into your script. And that way simultaneously those millions logins would happen, and you would actually see your actual performance and the metrics it would give you at the end of the day, that how your login APIs would perform at the end of the day when thousands or millions of users would log in into your website. These things we actually regularly test before the sales and before the great Indian festival of Amazon and all, where multiple users are being logged in from the same user ID and all, or maybe from multiple user IDs and all also. But we actually need to test these features on a regular basis to check if the at this scale of users, if our website is performing the same way when a single user is logging into Amazon, right?
Understood. Lastly, just one question from your personal experience. Has it ever been there that anyone from the team or someone in the testing domain like undermined the bug? They thought it's a like basic sanity check and it would go along. So in the rush hour, we built it in the production, but later we realized that it's affecting core services.
Okay. Not in Amazon, definitely not in Amazon, because we do have very strict regression and sanity and smoke suites. So this is a whole CD word, right? So what does that means is it's the continuous deployment, continuous integration of the code is going on, right? So if your those cases which are very important for your use case, that are the smoke and sanity test cases that are not being passed, your build deployment to the production would stop. You cannot go to production without that, right? And that at the last, your regression test suite, which contains almost 5,000 plus test cases, even if a single test case broke, you cannot go into production, and then the manual analysis would take place, right? In the previous organizations that happened one or two times, but when you are working at the scale of Amazon or Microsoft, you cannot afford these hiccups at the last moment into production, right? So you should be very strong with your processes and all. You should be ready with your CD word. Your test cases would run into the pipelines very stable, very stably, not the flaky ones, so that you can every time make sure that once you are in production out, your single and every test case would work seamlessly. That's what I have to say.
Understood. Awesome. So just adding on to that, like let's say something went into the production and it's affecting one of the services. So is it ideal to take the whole website down and work on the maintenance, or just keep that service down for a amount of time?
So the role, okay. So one thing is, once we roll out the production code, right? It would deploy in phases, right? So let's suppose at one phase it would go for 100 plus users, right? So for 100 plus users, if we are aware that this is the service that is being affected by one of the case that was failing, right? So we'll immediately do the rollback. So if a case is there that is not being caught by hundreds of users, and that is being caught by when thousands of users are working, again, we won't shy to roll back that feature also. We will immediately roll back that feature, work on the maintenance, and then we'll give the hotfix again within hours maybe.
Awesome. So that covers pretty much. And with that, thank you so much for joining in Sahil sir today. And the audience had a lot of questions, and I believe they loved the whole session. So this will be also available live, and we'll be having a quiz as well right after this. And in the session itself, we experienced a lot of bugs, I believe. So this is a live bugathon, and eventually, I hope you all learned a lot, and you will maybe further apply for good internships, jobs, and all the best to everyone who joined today. So thank you so much, Sahil sir, and the audience. And with that, signing off. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.
Okay, so second quiz will be live in the chat box, and we'll also be sending an email for that. This is live for 3 hours till 4:30 p.m. today. So everyone, kindly make sure that you fill this form to get the certification.